This is this Gibson, what am I saying? It sounds like an old Gibson L5 CES to me. This is a Washburn J6. I recently had Hewitt 13th Street Guitars tighten up this pickup here. And it seems like the whole guitar sounds better since he secured this back pickup. Here's the... I barely have my amp up. Let me just do a little more volume. This is really a nice guitar, and I'm not just saying that. I really know guitars, and when I buy used stuff, it really has to have the mojo, or I don't even mess around with it. But this guitar really... Let me hit the other... I think I turned up the master, but not the main channel. But yeah, this really has a sound. I'm hoping one of my regular customers gets it, or one of my Guitar Ladder customers. That's the bridge pickup. Listen to this beautiful. Yeah, I want to do a little free instruction here. Really, chordal improvisation is the key. Here's the back of this guitar. This guitar has a few little dings and stuff. And it's got a little area here where there's a little crack in the lacquer. But man, this guitar really has a sound. If I was rich, I would keep this. Working on that one. But anyway, chordal improvisation really is the key to strong musical growth. And Joe Pass told me that like 45 years ago when I studied with him. I was about 21, 22. I'm 65 now. But chordal improvisation really wakes up the musical ear. Here's a few chords I want you to wrap your head around. One of them is called a bichord. It's a combination of a minor 7 and a major 9. And it really, you get the, here you get this low G here. See, I can actually feel the room kind of vibrating. This guitar has so much body. I love to play this guitar unplugged too. It's got 10s on it. But, I think I'd put 11s on this guitar if I was going to keep it. But this bichord, here's my A, by the way. I know I'm probably tuned a little low. But it's just, like I said, it's like this. Hopefully you can see that. Really a beautiful chord. I kind of got this from Bill Evans, a great jazz piano player. And what's nice about this chord, it works really nicely into contrary motion. See that? You do this one, the bass goes down, the treble goes up to this major 13 flat 5. You can repeat that. See, that's chord connection that's kind of like lobster dipped in butter, right? It just connects in a way that's lush and has a modern sound, but it's very smooth yet interesting, I'm not trying to blow myself up here. I'm just trying to share some knowledge of how to make your playing more modern, more musical, and just have a little more magic. So using that bichord where the whole room is vibrating. This guitar has so much body. So when you find something that works, repeat it, play it in different sections, different frets. Now you can do this bichord, and like I said, the bass comes down, treble goes, then maybe go to a 13 flat 5, I do believe. I like to look at this. Actually, it's a 7 flat 13, but every chord has many different names. But if I look at it with the root here, it's got the flat 13 in it, and it's got the flat 7, so it's dominant, right? Anyway, so you can do the bichord to the major 13 flat 5, to the 13, to the 7, to the 7 flat 13, to a major 13. This is one of my favorite chords too. That major 13 here again is my A. You can see the major 13, maybe to another major 13 flat 5, another another 7 flat 13 to a 13 to maybe another bichord, maybe resolved to a E9 form like that, which is the last chord of the clap by Steve Howe. So that's, get to know these forms. They're really sweet, like the major 13 to the 7 sharp 5 sharp 9 is just a beautiful, that goes nicely to a 13 to a 9 to a 13 to a 13 flat 9. Okay, they can go to a major 9 6 7. But this is one of the things I did. I was going to buy a guitar from a guy the other day, and I was showing him some of my guitar ladder stuff. I think I whipped out this connection just using the 13 flat 5, and then I think I went to a major 13 to the 7 flat 13, 13 bichord again, non-root 13, major 9 6 with a 7 on top. So these are some modern chords that will really, really enhance. So kind of get used to that. Practice playing the bichord. You can always use that common tone. That's another way to think about improvisation, is just have a common tone and keep repeating that common tone. And you can get a lot of interest. You don't have to always be thinking some big, complicated, theoretical thing. Sometimes you can just think as simple as coming up, one note like this and building chords around it. This way you get to play with your ear and you get to introduce to your subconscious mind different ideas. My guitar ladder system, by the way, is 240 studies with a chart and a video for each one. I do not send them all at once. It's $199. It's like getting thousands of dollars of instruction. It's not bullshit. If you really want to take a quantum leap and discover your own unique kind of harmonic approach, which is really what it's about. I mean, you're discovering your own musical ideas. Sure, you're going to reflect artists that you love. I mean, my writing reflects people I love, like Michael Hedges, Pat Martino, John McLaughlin, just people, Paco de Lucia, different artists that I really respect. Eric Johnson is one I really, learn from. Baroli Legrand, who's the best guitar player in the world, no doubt about it. Hate to put it that way. But anyway, so for today's lesson, bichord to major 13 flat 5 to 7 flat 13 to 13 to major 9 6 with a 7 on top to 13 flat 5 again, major 13 and you can do this different every time you do it. Like, just change it up. Start with the bichord. Maybe think about coming up half steps. The more you experiment with chords, and learn. When I talk about the 10 different systems of improvisation, I'm not going to get into a 2-hour rap about each one. They're included within my studies. You don't need to put everything in a box, folks. You don't need to approach learning art and music like being an engineer. Nothing wrong with being an engineer. I'm just saying it's different. You know what I mean? It's not like putting together a piece of furniture from IKEA where you have 32 little steps, Sure, it's good to learn about chords and how chords and scales relate, but really that you'll save a lot of time. And if you love chord melody playing, you're going to absolutely it's going to make it like almost easy to do chord melody, even your own arrangements, because you learn how to get around on the guitar. And it's going to sound different every time, but the main thing I wanted to show today was this bichord to the major 13 flat 5, and then, like I said, you could go to a major 13, you could go to the dominant flat 5 with the root on the top, 13, another bichord, major 13 flat 5, 13. Boy, this guitar sounds so sweet. And again, again, like I said, you can use common tone, just making one note, keeping one note and building chords around it. You don't always have to have some big, complicated, theory behind it. But that's what's so nice about the guitar ladder system. You're going to get thousands. I've had people drive over 200 miles, pay me 100 or less, and I'm not trying to brag, but it's true. But you get thousands of dollars of information for $199. You can order it at steves@guitars.com. I'll even give you a whole year to work the system. If you don't agree at the end of the year, you got a ton more than $200 out of it. I'll refund every dime. That's for new customers. It really works, folks. I've spent 40 years developing this system. I even shared some of it with Ted Green. He thought it was great. And it really, really, really works. You're going to learn how to create modern sounds, and you're going to learn how to take those musical ideas that are deep within that you might not even be conscious of and start bringing them out and begin to create your own, harmonic logic and create your own compositions and just really wake up your ear. So anyway, mess around with that. Bi chord, major 13 flat 5, 13 flat 5. I'm sorry, that was the 7 flat 13, 13 bi chord. I do this different every time, which is the whole point. Major 13 flat 5. I could go to this form of the major 13 flat 5, that form of the same chord. I love that's a great 9 form. And this guitar is available. Really has a. I'm even starting to love the sound of the back pickup. I'm not very warmed up right now, but man, it's got a really. I'm just using an old solid state amp. I hardly paid anything for it too. But you can hear that tone. Musical guitar, and I love to play it unplugged as much as plugged, but it sounds absolutely lush plugged. Anyway, I could play it all day. Maybe I will. Take care, guys. Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar. Like I said, it's got a couple little cosmetic issues. Probably has 2 or 3 dings. Overall, it's a beautiful looking guitar, and the top has got really, really good wood with these really good soaking patterns that go sideways. That's really, really good wood, and it makes a difference even on a guitar like this. These sideways soaking patterns remind me of an old Gibson 05 or something. It's got a really, really, really gorgeous flame back. This is really, I've owned a lot, and I've sold a lot of J6s. This is seriously probably one of the top 2 I've had, and I'm not just saying that because it sounds good. It just really, really has a sound. Hopefully you can hear. And this is with 10s. I think I'd put 11s on this. And it plays really good too. I barely have any probably have any volume on this guitar at all right now. All right, folks, take care. But yeah, I think 11s would be good on this guitar, and or you could just keep the 10s on this. Maybe put 11 on the first string just to kind of give it a little more, stability. But this is really a lot of guitar. I just love, like I said, that soaking pattern on the top, which is the wood that goes across like this. But if you're serious, there's really not too many innovative guitar instruction systems out there. Mine is based on 40 years of work, and it really be a major effect on your musical life. You'll get a lot more joy. Stop spending so much money on guitars and gear. Invest $199 in the guitar ladder system, and you'll really take a deep dive into real knowledge, and you'll really wake up your musical ear, and will seed the subconscious mind, wake up the powerful musical ear in your subconscious mind. It really works, folks. Take care.